The 2026 Road to the Kentucky Derby kicks off with the Smarty Jones Stakes. 9 3-year-olds, 3-year-olds are running a mile and a 16th on the dirt at Oaklawn Park Saturday, January 3rd, and 10 Kentucky Derby points are on the line. This isn't just any prep race. Oh no, this is the first of the qualifiers at Oaklawn. And for most of these horses, it is the biggest moment of their young lives. How will you find your winner? Facts and figures are going to give you that winning edge. I give you the stats, you make the picks. Hi, it's Maura from Trifecta and a little bit extra, and Happy New Year to everyone. Now we're going to go into each contender, but instead of just kind of rattling off speed figures and stats, I'm going to tell you the story of each horse, where they've been, what they've already proven, and what questions they still have to answer. Because by the time they reach that starting gate, every one of them is carrying something different. Now, before we dive into these contenders, I do have to say this. Horse betting is not legal in every state, so if you're betting, make sure it's legal. Now on to our contenders of the Smarty Jones. Trained by Kenny McPeek and ridden by Joel Rosario, the #1 horse Universe is the definition of class. 4 starts and 3 graded stakes entries. And he has never missed the board. 1 win, 2 places, and 1 show. Now, he won first time out at Saratoga going 7 furlongs. He didn't do it the easy way. Oh no, he hit the gate, he lost momentum immediately, and he still powered home to win by 4 lengths. But his speed rating was very light, a 68 buyer. Then he goes into the Champagne, grade 1 company at a mile. Now, he gets bumped at the break. He sits mid-pack, finishes 3rd, but gets his best speed rating yet, an 83. Twice at a mile and a 16th, twice second. The Street Sense and the Kentucky Jockey Club, both graded stakes races. Different trips, but same result. He gets a 79 buyer. He's the only one of 2 horses in the field to have gone the distance twice. And he should be forwardly placed, but this race is projected to be fast-paced, and what makes him unique is he also has a strong late kick. Now, what makes this really interesting, he's got all this class, but he's going to carry only 117 pounds. That is less than some of his rivals. He's owned by 4G Racing, who won the Kentucky Derby with Kenny McPeek in 2024 with Mystic Dan. And he's also owned by Arkansas resident Greg Day, who I'm sure would just love to win in front of his hometown crowd. To me, Universe, top contender. Onto a horse that has taken the long way around, and that is Baytown Dreamer, trained by Paul McEntee. Now, he's had 8 starts. That is more than any other horse in the field. 1 win, 1 place, and 2 shows. Now, on paper, the pedigree says dirt. His sire is Mendelssohn, but the performances hasn't really followed that. 5 straight turf races. Top speed figure, only a 69. And the notes at a mile and a 16th, they say weakened. Now, even when he tried dirt early in his career, the results just didn't pop. Baytown Dreamer is battle-tested for sure, but this feels like a tall task, and he's not a horse I'm going to be backing. And then there's the opposite kind of story. The horse who hasn't been asked too many questions, but has answered loudly every time. Coming out of post position 3, trained by James DeVito and ridden by top-ranking rider here at Oaklawn, Luis Saez, we have Boca Beach Club. Now, he's only run twice, but both times, those speed figures, super impressive. Now, he breaks his maiden, which just means win for the very first time, by, get this, 6 lengths. And he gets a very strong speed rating, a 78 buyer in a 5 furlong sprint. Now, that field didn't come back strong, but his performance sure did. he comes here to Oaklawn. Now note that here, Oaklawn, December 12th in the Advent Stakes, going 5.5 furlongs against some real speed. He fires an 84 speed rating coming in second. And that speed rating is the fastest in this field. Now comes true test. This is going to be his first route. He has Omaha Beach as a sire, and that gives me some hope. He has Mineshaft as his dam sire, and that adds stamina. Mineshaft won the Jockey Club Gold Cup and the Woodward prominent G1 races in 2003. But the dam hasn't really produced a notable dirt router yet. The question really isn't talent. It's whether speed like this can stretch out or snap. Also take note, this is the only horse with Oaklawn experience, and the workouts, super fast. This is a horse I have my eye on for sure. And if Boca Beach Club is trying to stretch out, the next horse has already been there twice. But before we move on, I just want to say this. If you're finding this information useful, go ahead and hit like and hit subscribe. I'm going to have much more Derby coverage, more horse racing education right here at your fingertips. And also check out my socials and my website for more information. Now on to the next contender. Coming out of post position 4, Silent Tactic is trained by Mark Casse and will be ridden by Jaime Torres. Now he doesn't have to answer the distance question. He's already won and placed at a mile and a 16th, but he did it on Woodbine's synthetic surface, a surface that can favor closers and doesn't punish with kickback the way that the Oaklawn dirt does. Now his Beyer speed rating in that first race was pretty good, a 74. In the Gray Stakes, he went really wide and fought to come in second, and he earned a 71 Beyer. But now we got to ask, how can he handle the dirt? Silent Tactic is a $500,000 purchase by Tacitus, and he himself was a strong dirt router, but the progeny hasn't really fired off any big performances. The dam sire is Gun Runner, and we know he's got a dirt pedigree. Also, we've got to say, hey, this race is going to be more speed favoring than Woodbine would have been. But we do see that he was forwardly placed in those races, 2 lengths from the leader. Unfortunately, Mark Casse, he hasn't really been lethal moving from synthetic to dirt. There's talent here, but he's going to have to prove if it translates. And if Silent Tactic is about unanswered questions, the next horse is about confidence. In post position 5, we have Rancho Santa Fe, who has never lost. 2 starts and 2 wins. And we saw at Keeneland going this distance. He did it the wide way. Coming out of post position 7 in an 8-horse field. Around that first turn, this horse went 4 to 5 wide. And then he stayed wide around the backstretch. He tracked mid-pack, found another gear when it mattered. 78 Beyer. Now his sire is Tappet, and we know Tappet produces distance runners. His trainer is Brad Cox. He has a 23% win rate here at Oaklawn, and Florent Giroux has been on him both times and stays aboard. And the combination for Florent Giroux and Brad Cox, they win 21% of the time. Now he doesn't have Universe's resume with class, but he sure feels like a horse moving forward at the right time, and I really like him. But if Rancho Santa Fe is smooth and professional, the next horse, pure grit. Going to post position 6, we have Oscar's Hope, and he has shown up every time. 5 starts and 5 exacta finishes. Trained by Tom Amos, he'll be ridden by Ricardo Santana Jr. And this horse is named after one of the owner's grandchildren. And we see he is super fast. On Saratoga closing day in September, going 6 furlongs, he wins by an impressive 5 lengths with an 82 Beyer speed rating. Last time in the John Lafitte, going 7.5 furlongs, he gets to the early lead and wins with an 81 Beyer. He's fast, he's honest, and he shows he has heart. Now comes 2 challenges. The first time he has to go 1 1/16, and he's going to be carrying the heaviest weight in the field with 122 pounds. The last win came with first-time Lasix, and that really matters when they're stretching out. The question's going to be, can he get the distance? His sire is Twirling Candy, who was a strong competitor at the longer distances and has above-average stats as a sire of dirt routers. But Top Progeny is just really known for the turf. The Dam sire is not this time, and he is a strong dirt router influence. You have to like the professionalism here. He's got one of the top speed ratings, and his workouts are really fast. He fired off a bullet going 59 and change for 5 furlongs. But the question mark is really the distance. If he stays, he's dangerous, and I have my eye on him. If he doesn't, he's going to tell us early. And sometimes the most dangerous horses are the ones who just got their confidence back. And here we have the number 7 horse, Strategic Risk. Trained by Mark Casse, he'll be ridden by Javier Castellano. 5 starts, 2 wins, and 1 show. Now, he looked like a monster early at Gulfstream. 8-length maiden win, huge promise. But then came graded stakes company, the G3 Sanford, and it just didn't go well. In a 6-horse field, he finishes 4th, 16 lengths behind, and 54 Beyer speed rating. Ouch. Then he tries the turf, the G3 with Anticipation Stakes, this distance, and in a 6-horse field, he weakens and finishes last. Ouch. The turf, not his thing. Back in State Bred Company, back at Gulfstream and stretching to this distance, he explodes again and wins by 9 lengths with a 79 Beyer. That win was a huge confidence boost for him, but the quality of the field that he beat that day? Meh. Castellano was in the saddle, so he knows this horse. Mark Casse knows the family. Trained the Dam. He trained the sire. The sire was Noble Bird, who won multiple Grade 1 races and held the track record at Pimlico for 1 3/16. So this horse has promise at the longer distances. This is another horse you may want to see. How does he do in the Smarty Jones, and will he move forward on the Derby Trail? And that brings us to a horse that has a few questions to answer himself. Moving on to the number 8 is Scarship. Trained by Ricky Corville, he'll be ridden by Ramon Vasquez, who is a leading rider here at Oaklawn. 4 starts with a win and 2 places. Scarship is changing everything at once. New distance, new company, and blinkers for the first time. His breakout race came in his 3rd start. It was a $43,000 maiden special weight going 6.5 furlongs. He gets the lead early. He wins by 9 lengths. But the speed rating was light at a 66. Last race was a 6 furlong race at the fairgrounds, the Louisiana Champions Day Juvenile Stakes. Now, he sets an early pace. He loses ground entering the stretch. He duels in that final furlong. And you gotta love a horse that duels because it just shows how much heart he has. But unfortunately, he loses by a 1/2 length and earns a 79 Beyer. Go back to that last race. He fought. He doesn't quit. But all of his races have come at the shorter distances, all under 7 furlongs. Can he get the extra distance? Midshipman gives you a maybe as a sire. Dixie Union as a Dam sire gives you a reason to believe. There's upside here, but a lot has to go right. And personally, I like other horses in this race. And coming from the outermost post is number 9, Sleepingonfreedom. Trained by Kenny McPeek, he'll be ridden by Brian Hernandez Jr. 3 starts, 2 wins, and 1 place, so always in the exacta. The last 2 races, both wins, and semi-strong speed ratings in the mid-70s. And I say semi-strong because top in this field, mid-80s. 1 win was at this distance, but it was on a sloppy track. Last time in a race going this distance, he saved every inch of ground. And this time, he's breaking from the far outside. Same trainer as Universe, but Brian Hernandez Jr., who is usually Kenny McPeek's top rider, rides this one. Interesting because in my opinion, I like Universe more with this class. Am I wrong? 9 horses, and for one, the road to the Kentucky Derby really begins. Who do you like in this race? Now it's your turn. Drop me a comment below. Who do you think's gonna win the Smarty Jones? Make sure you hit like and hit subscribe. Don't miss out on my Derby coverage. For those of you who have been with me for a while, I just want to announce I'm going to be doing this full time, so a lot more coverage to come. I hope you all find your winner on Saturday and sashay away with your money. Until next time, cheers.